What is up, gamers? One night, I was lying in bed asleep when God himself came down and gave me the title for my next video. That time, I got reincarnated as a Slimefoot and Squee. We're going to be isekai'd in this deck, okay? Our commander is Slimefoot and Squee, one black, red, green, legendary fungus goblin guy. Whenever Slimefoot and Squee enters the battlefield or attacks, we make a 1/1 green sapling creature token. Then one black, red, green, sack a sapling, return Mr. Foot and Squee, and one other target creature card from our graveyard to the battlefield, only as a sorcery. Very fun. So, we're going to die and come back. Classic isekai trope. We're going to use the power of friendship to keep bringing Slimefoot and Squee back. Then we're going to grow even stronger, do some fun shenanigans that way. And we're going to absorb our enemies like any good fungus goblin would. All right. That brings us to the power of friendship, where we're going to make a lot of saprolings. We got Golgari Germination, one black, green. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. All right. They kill all of our guys, whatever. We're going to get some saplings, which we can use to bring back Slimefoot if we need to. Then we got Tendershoot Dryad, 4 and a green, a very good card. At the beginning of each upkeep, that means our opponents as well, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token, more fodder for us to sacrifice at will. Saplings you control get +2/+2 as long as you have the City's Blessing. Eventually we'll get this, and then our saplings will actually be kind of scary if we want to swing at our enemies with them. And then we got Namada Primeval Warden, 2 black, green. If a creature an opponent controls would die, we can exile it, so that gets rid of their reanimation stuff. Whenever you do, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. Very nice. Don't worry about the other stuff, but we can pay 1 and a black and sack 2 of our saplings to draw a card. Who says no to card draw, guys? All right, classic friendship move here. Next up, we got recurring characters, classic trope. We got characters that pop up all the time. Here are the guys we want to bring back as many times as we want. Archon of Cruelty, of course he's here. 6 and 2 black. When he enters the battlefield or attacks, target opponent sacks a creature or planeswalker, discards a card, and loses 3 life. You draw a card and gain 3 life. Easy. Sick value. Bringing him back for 4 mana is insane discount. We get him for half his, he's 50% off. Then we got Plaguecrafter, who does the same thing, kind of, but we each sacrifice a creature or planeswalker, and if they can't, we discard a card. So, good value all around. We can just start sort of, board wipe, one-sided, kind of. And then we got Gruff Triplets. This is some math. If you don't like doing math, don't worry about it. But Gruff Triplets enters, makes 2 tokens. When he dies, we put 3 +1 counters on each other token, and then we bring him back a bunch of times, do a bunch of math, and then win the game or die before we are done completing our calculations. But this guy is crazy good when you can recur him a bunch of times. Then we got Truck Coon, aka the classic isekai trope of how do we get the guys into our graveyard? Well, we got Corpse Connoisseur. Look at him. He's so cute. 4 and a black. When he enters the battlefield, we search our library for a creature card and put that card into our graveyard. Then shuffle our library. And we can unearth him to do the same thing. But why unearth him? We can just bring him back with Slimefoot and search for our best creature cards and put them into our graveyard. We can also use Entomb for 1 black mana at instant speed to search our library for a card, put it into our graveyard, and then shuffle your library. Very easy. And Buried Alive does it, but with 3 creature cards. So it's 2 and a black sorcery. Put a bunch of dudes into our graveyard so we can get all of our best guys that we're going to want to recur, like the Archon and some other guys I'll show you later. I got sacrificed instantly and came back at sorcery speed. We're going to want to sacrifice a bunch of guys fast and then bring them back slow, if that makes sense. So we got Greater Good, 2 and 2 green, sack a creature, draw cards equal to its power, then discard 3 cards. Most of the time, it's going to get us net positive card draw, and then even if it doesn't, we can just discard cards we don't need. Who cares? Then we got Evolutionary Leap, putting in work in my Henzi deck, by the way. 1 and a green. With a green pip, you can sack a creature and then cascade down into a creature card, put that card into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library. It refills your hand with creatures, which is what we want. And then Altar of Dementia, we can sack a creature and then mill ourselves equal to its power, or mill our opponents equal to its power. So, great instant speed sacrifice abilities here. But of course, they're coming back from death, and all they got is haste, right? Classic. I'm just trying to throw out some funny little isekai titles here. They're in the works. We got Anger, 3 and a red. Haste, if it's in our graveyard and we control a mountain, creatures have haste. Easy, classic, it's Anger. Then we got Rhythm and Wild, 1 red and a green. Creature spells you control can't be countered. Non-token creatures you control have Riot. Enter with haste or a +1 counter. We're always going to want that haste for our guys because they come back, before combat, and we swing them. They die in combat. We can bring them back, and it's all good. Then we got Chainer, Nightmare Adept, 2 black, red. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if you didn't cast it from your hand, it gains haste until your next turn. So it gets haste when we bring it back with our Slimefoot. We can all discard a card in order to cast stuff from our graveyard. So that's kind of fun. And we can only do this once each turn, but still kind of a neat little guy. Now, of course, we get to the fun part. Winning. How's this deck going to win? Well, we got Ashnod's Altar. We sacrifice a creature and add 2 colorless. Then we got Atsushi, the Blazing Sky. He's 2 and 2 red for a flying trample 4/4 dragon spirit. When he dies, we can exile the top 2 cards of our library and play them until our next turn. Not terrible, but we could also create 3 treasure tokens. Now, I hope you see what we can do here. We can throw him into Ashnod's Altar, making 3 treasure tokens and 2 colorless mana, and then we can use Slimefoot's ability, sacking those treasures and using one of the colorless to bring them back to the battlefield, sack them again, do this as many times as we need to, repeating ad infinitum. That's Latin for a lot. And then we can use Impact Tremors, which does 1 damage each time a creature enters the battlefield under our control. So it'll do 2 damage per loop to all of our opponents. Or we can hit him with the more swag version, Warstorm Surge, 5 and a red. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. So this every loop will do 7 damage to any target. So it just depends on what you got the mana for and what you can afford. All right, we made it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It means a lot. If you have any fun deck suggestions, I do take comments very seriously. You guys are a big inspiration to me. It means a lot. Yeah, I just hope everyone has a great time. And until I see you next time, have a good one, gamers. Quips and Guac out.